Welcome, guys. Welcome back to Be For Real. Got a fun one today. Gonna try and keep it short. I'm excited. I liked the shorter episode last week. We got in, we got out, we got our opinions going. So, as always, we're actually missing someone right now, which you can see on the screen. I have Will, second episode. Fire. I'm so excited. Hey. I have Drew, me, and right now the ghost of Caden, because Caden is out missing right now. He will be joining us halfway through the show. As always, keeping it fun, keeping it real here. But we're going to change it up a little bit. Usually I start with some hot takes, but this time I'm starting with a segment called We Be Ranking. Now, I've done this segment before, but due to some time constraints and other issues, we decided to adjust. And who doesn't want to adjust a show? Change it up. Be interesting.
Be flexible.
So, exactly. Be flexible. So, if you can see on the screen, if you guys can't, I'll explain it to you, but for the people at home, they can see it on the screen. Today's topic is Best Sports Championships. Now, We Be Ranking is a segment where I give you guys 4 topics, 4 different objects, 4 different things, 4 different whatever you want to call them. And then you have to blindly rank them. We're doing a special edition this time, thanks to Will. We're blindly ranking them, which means when I give you that topic or that object, whatever it's called, the item, you have to put it from 1 to 4. You have to fill in a slot. Let's say you put it at 2. Now you have to take the other 3 and put them either in 1, 3, or 4, and then go so on until your list is filled. So like I said, 1 to 4, 1 is your best. 1 is the best, 1 is the best, 4 is the worst.
Okay.
So we're starting off, like I said, sports championships. I'm going to go ahead and give you, as we all know, Super Bowl was this weekend, so I'm going to start you guys off with the Super Bowl. Where is the Super Bowl ranking on your list? Just give me like a 1-sentence explanation if you would like. If you don't have to if you don't want to, but if you'd like to, explain why you have it somewhere.
All right. You want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, I'm putting it at 1. I mean, I don't.
1 right now?
I can't. I'm thinking of championship. What is it? Sports championships?
Best sports championships.
I can't think of sports championships that's more American and known than the Super Bowl right now. I mean, I'm a soccer fan, so I'd say Champions League, but that's not like generally the most popular one. I'd put Super Bowl at 1. That's easy for me.
All right. I have it at 3. Whew. So I think the Super Bowl is a little overrated, especially over the last couple years. I have 2 in mind that I think Brian's going to throw out that I would definitely put ahead of the Super Bowl. So I'm putting it at 3, and even if he doesn't pull out 2 more, the 2 that I'm thinking, I'm not mad with it at 3. Especially like this year, I think it's just so. I think it's so divided to where we have people that are like so only rooting for one of the teams, especially with the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that's made the Super Bowl a lot more boring for people, and people aren't as interested in it.
Absolutely. So you think that I won't say any other?
No.
I'm just going to let you know. You think that would be the best one I'll share?
I think that'll be the best one that you share right now.
All right, and you have 3, so you doubt me that.
I doubt you.
You doubt me, okay.
I doubt you.
Or at least, excuse me, Drew doubts me. You don't doubt me. You think I'll be pulling out another one.
You.
Second one I'm going to bring up is the NBA Finals. That is coming up in April now. June, early June. Are you guys going to have it? Oh, shoot, you guys are going crazy. NBA Finals, we got 2 more after this. Again, I think you don't have to share, but you're more than welcome.
I think you're going to do March Madness World Cup. Or actually.
Will's re-erasing one. So you think that they're going to be?
So I have 3 here. Zach, by the way, said that we have to show our whiteboards a little bit better because we didn't.
Yeah, it's very tough to see. It's like you got to look at me.
I have it at 3 because NBA Finals. It's like, I mean, it's nice, it's intense, but basketball is just not my thing. I'm kind of doing this off of personal preference, not off of like a general like American opinion. So I love NBA Finals being at 3 for me. It's Super Bowl is much more entertaining for me. Everyone gets together. It's like a huge party event.
I like it.
I had it at 4, so I was back and forth between it at 2 or 4. I ended up going with 4 because I think it's since it's a 7-game series, it's highly dependent on the teams. So there's some years where it's a 4-0 sweep and it really just isn't that competitive. And there's some years like Golden State and Cleveland where Cleveland will come back down 3-1 and it'll be the coolest thing ever. And you just get like all these great names and great stories in it. So I think the NBA Finals has to be at 4.
It has to be at 4.
It has to be at 4.
All right, well, we'll let Cade come in here. All right, Caden, I got 2.
Oh,
I'm gonna give you one real quick. We can blindly rank. All right, Caden is back. We're gonna make this a little bit quicker, but
Don't let him see the first.
for number,
let me hold that off real quick.
mic on? Mic should be on.
Okay.
You should be all set. Cool. You are all set. All right, so the first one, I'm gonna have you rank from 1 to 4, but it's blind rank. First one is Super Bowl.
Oh, blind rank?
Yeah.
Just the Super Bowl itself?
No, like just
No. It's like you're gonna have
it's
four
sports
different options.
championships.
Four
Okay,
championships.
It's 4 championships?
4 championships.
Four different championships.
One. I'm not overthinking it. It's
Thank you.
one. Absolutely. Super Bowl is
one.
absolutely one. Yeah.
All right.
All right, then you had NBA Finals. Where do you put it?
Oh, the NBA Finals is sick. Hockey is pretty sick too, but I don't know if you're going to say it. I'm going to put NBA Finals, I'm going to put them at 2.
At 2? At 2? All right. NBA Finals at 2. Super Bowl at 1.
Yes,
Yeah, Super Bowl 3.
That's crazy. That is wild.
Super Bowl 1, NBA Finals 3. We're going down to the last 2, so you can write them down.
Say World Cup.
You guys ready for the third one?
Oh!
Say World
My fault, y'all. Yeah,
Please.
Drew must be reading my mind because World Cup.
Okay.
World Cup was there. World Cup was my.
World Cup
next
would have
one.
been 2. I'll put them at 3.
World
World
Cup.
Cup 3 for you.
Easily
World Cup
my
one.
number 1. That's what I was waiting on.
All right.
World Cup is
There's
at my
gonna be a dumb
2.
one. He's going to throw in some silly little one, though.
That's-
Getting
I'm-
4 is crazy.
NBA, it's so dependent on the teams that are in it. There's some years where it's 4-0 sweeps, and there's some years where it's like the coolest thing ever, and it goes to 7.
Hey, but the World Cup's once every 4 years. I'm taking 4 NBA Finals versus 1 World Cup. I'm still taking the World Cup, but I think that's low. 4 Super Bowls is better than 1 World Cup.
I love
I think
my
the
list.
World Cup being every 4 years adds value to it.
Also, we're talking about the World Cup final, right? Because the World Cup as a whole is like
World Cup
like-
final for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Yeah, there's no
we're talking just a championship. Yeah, I was making sure.
Yeah, I'm
I got
still
you.
taking
Yeah,
that.
Sure.
It's going to be however you want to
But,
interpret it. If you want to interpret it as like just one game, go ahead. Like when I said
interpret it as
Super,
the
Super
entire-
Bowl is like one game.
Yeah.
World Cup is like kind of the whole thing because it's just titled the World Cup. It's really tough. It's a gray area. But just in general, the feeling you get from either watching the final or watching, like the best peak of it is essentially.
I forgot about the World Cup. And
Oh, you're gonna say March Madness.
I think Drew stole my script because March Madness.
No way,
Dude,
March
Oh,
Madness is
I hate it now.
When you brought me on and said Super Bowl, my first thought was March Madness, the month is better than the Super Bowl, but the championship itself is worse.
y'all
That's
messed
fine.
this
That's
up.
fair.
The title
I
says Best
played
Sports
the
Championship.
system perfectly.
He has a really good one.
Wait, you kind
Those
of
are
did.
really
I
good.
played
my
the
God.
system perfectly.
Wait, but it says, the thing says, I mean, y'all can, watchers can see it. It says Best Sports Championship.
All I'm saying
March Madness.
March Madness.
is you hate me because you ain't me, man. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Okay. I was a blind ranking, and that's the point. So obviously, it's a flaw in myself that I'm heated right now, but I am. All right. If I were to rank them, the Super Bowl would be 1, the World Cup final would be 2, the NBA Finals would be 3, and the College Basketball Championship would be 4. However, March Madness 1, Super Bowl 2, World Cup 3, NBA Finals 4. But if you're gonna do like the entire World Cup versus the entire NFL playoffs versus the entire NBA playoffs versus all of March Madness, that's also a different list.
Oh, then I'd have the, I have the NFL playoffs at 4.
I'm thinking
The
of.
NFL playoffs are awful.
I think
now.
I would agree too.
I'm thinking of
NBA
like.
playoffs would be
Yeah.
at 3, and then I keep World Cup and
think
March
so.
Madness at 1, 2.
To me, it's
Yeah, I
the
think
peak moment. So for Super Bowl, it's the Super Bowl. It is the Super Bowl. For NBA Finals, it's the NBA Finals because like that's where the peak attention grabbing is. For March Madness, it's usually that round of like 16, Elite 8. That's where the peak is, not the championship. And then for the World Cup, it's usually the final is like the peak.
Well, I
and
think-
so with peaks of these best sports
Cup's always
championships,
peak, I feel like.
it is kind of always peak. I have it March 1. Now this is not blindly ranked. This is my opinion because I wanted you guys to blindly rank.
Did you spell madness wrong?
Maybe. I put 2 Ds, my bad. It's been a long day. March Madness 1, World Cup 2, Super Bowl 3, NBA 4. And again, mine is about peak. Where is it at its peak? And for me, that's where
Okay.
Like, there's just so many great moments in all of these, but I think March Madness is so dependent on the Cinderella team and to gain more viewers than just.
But everyone loves the St. Peter's.
Yeah, like I think
Everybody loves the St. Peters. Everybody loves the
UMBC
Clemson.
over Virginia.
It's cocaine sports. It's like you're just looking like, oh my God, wait, this team's about to win. This team's in overtime. This is so sick. Yeah. March Madness is sick. I love March Madness. We're close to it. I'm excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
So now moving on to hot takes, because we have hot takes now. We had to switch it up a little bit because Will's probably going to go after this one.
Yeah.
We're going to try and keep it semi-short so that Will can get his opinions out. We're also going to let Will go first.
All right, give me one.
That way we can hear it. And then we're going to move on to the next topic.
I got a short one. I got you.
All right, mine's kind of a two-parter.
You're gonna like this one.
I'm gonna like this one.
All right,
Yeah.
Let Will go
If you're
first.
sarcastic, I'm gonna hate this one.
Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, I was good with you the first one. The
No,
first.
I loved your take. You have the best take I've ever heard, the Tate McRae take. So yeah,
All right.
Go for it, bro.
So my hot take this week is that Cade Cunningham is going to win an NBA MVP in the next 5 years, and the Detroit Pistons are going to win a finals in the next 5 years.
Do you have any Detroit Pistons ties? Do you?
No.
Okay. I'm supposed to ask.
I'm from Wells, Maine, but I really love how they're rebuilding the team, and I think the team is actually much better than what people think. So.
See, I don't hate what they're doing right now. I just think there's another conundrum that's like this. I can't think of it right now, but it's like there's so many other teams around them that's doing what they're doing and better that like they can get there 10 years, I'd say. 5 years, I mean, Lakers are set. You have a lot of teams that are currently set.
I don't think the Lakers are winning the finals in the next.
And we're talking about the Detroit Pistons too. That's a different conference. That's the East, I believe, right?
Yeah, but then you're talking about.
I can't think of multiple
is
teams.
Lucas
in the
surrounding
NBA,
cast in
so.
was Lucas surrounding cast in Dallas better than Lucas surrounding cast in LA right now?
Absolutely.
Really?
100%.
In LA currently with LeBron, not like
Yeah.
future, but in LA.
Yeah.
Because I feel like their futures are kind of similar. If not, LA has a better because he is Austin Reeves.
I think LA has it worse because LeBron's going to leave and Dallas built a solid surrounding. Like they had role players. LA does not have role players. They don't even have a center right now. Jackson Hayes
did phenomenal last night.
Jackson Hayes did phenomenal for my fantasy team, so thank you. But I'm sorry, Jax.
The Lakers,
They signed Alex Len this morning. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not good.
That's not
he
a
was
good
cut by the Wizards.
I think that Mark Williams trade killed everything.
Dwight
for him.
Howard's the best Lakers center in the past 10 years. Like 35-year-old Dwight Howard. They've always needed a center.
No, there was this guy named Anthony Davis.
He played the 4. He was a stretch 4.
There's this guy named Anthony
He was
Davis.
a
Don't know if
stretch
you heard
4.
of him.
He was a stretch 4. He was not.
God.
The Lakers need the whole like Lakers need a center thing was around when AD was playing for the Lakers.
There has to have been a better
They still need a center because the Mark Williams trade.
Zaza Pachulia?
Zaza!
Pachulia? Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah.
He's got a ring.
Yeah.
He's got a couple of rings.
Yeah, Dwight Howard does too. I think that was the COVID year.
I do like the hot take. I think Cade can win an MVP. I do see that happening.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if the Detroit Pistons
I think in the NBA, it's so hard to get MVP, and I think young, hot players, he's kind of in that perfect spot where it's like you think he can get there, and then he could put up 30 points per game for 3 years and just be a 4 seed and not get the MVP. Like I think it's so hard to win it. I think he's gonna be a perennial like better than Trae Young, worse than Luka Doncic type of player and stuff.
Okay, well, let me tell you. So let me argue this then. We've already seen that voters will eventually not vote for somebody because they've won so many. Like voter fatigue is real.
Yeah.
Jokic is not gonna win like 7.
Yeah.
And I could see Luka winning one, but beyond that,
Wemby.
I don't.
You don't think Wemby can
I don't think he's gonna win enough games to be considered.
I think over the next 5 years, Wemby's snagging MVP.
But I think that Detroit is gonna get there first before San
You
Antonio.
think Cade? You think?
Dude, have you
Detroit-
seen Cade's stat lines this year? It's crazy.
Have you seen Wemby's?
Cade's incredible. No, I think that.
He's doing it for a
Wemby's
losing
got
team.
De'Aaron Fox.
They just got him.
Cade's got Tobias Harris. Let's be real. Let's be real.
Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren.
But Wemby's also.
You're taking that over
the
Chris
greatest of
Paul,
all time,
Stephon Castle, and De'Aaron Fox?
Yes.
I like
I'm taking
Stephon Castle.
a balance instead of 3 guards.
Devon, what is it? Vassell?
The Pistons.
Evan Vassell?
Evan Vassell?
The Pistons are also in the East.
Jeremy
Pistons,
Sochan? I never
no.
remember how to pronounce their name.
I think, I think that Wemby could elevate to a level where it's like, look at this supporting cast. Oh my God, Wemby won 60 games. Like I think he has that potential for sure.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think
That man's gonna get the most DPOIs, like
because he's only
in this
20.
world.
He's gonna be
Until
like
somebody like him
Bill
comes-
Russell. Like what Bill Russell was in the '60s, he's doing now. You know, like I feel like 60 years from now, we're gonna look back at NBA players of this generation and be like Cade Cunningham, Luka Doncic. Like they could never play in today, but Wemby Loki could. Like how we feel about Wilt Chamberlain. Like he's kind of like that and stuff. It's crazy. Yeah.
Almost like a fiction of our imagination.
He's
But
insane.
what is not of our imagination, but rather something to look forward to, is the halftime show next year. We had a halftime show this year that was interesting, which is part of my hot take, which I'll leave out. But we're focused on the future to next Super Bowl already. So Drew, what is your...
Thank you for the nice segue to my topic. My board literally just says halftime show 2026. Brian introduced it very well. My hot take is that the artist, so in our generation, we have artists that are popping off immediately. We have Leandro Ball, who released one song and he immediately
That's your
went
example
viral.
of an artist popping off immediately.
Yeah, he did.
Leandro Ball for the halftime show popped up immediately.
He already had 3
That's a
segments.
perfect
He already
I just
performed
mean
at a
like
playoff.
overnight hit sensation. I don't think Leandro Ball first.
I think he might be. Because
I do.
he's already performing at an All-Star game and a playoff football game, and he has 1 song to his name. Maybe 2, excuse me, maybe 2.
LeVar Ball's son's an industry plant. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
My
Overnight
take,
LeVar Ball knows what he's doing. As much as people hate on him, LeVar Ball knows what
No,
he's doing.
it's like Kim Kardashian's mom. LeVar Ball's the basketball version of that. Yeah.
Yeah, the Ball family is the Kardashian
Yeah,
family of
exactly.
basketball.
If Kim K put out an album, it would be an overnight sensation. You know,
It would be. It would be.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Drew, go ahead. Let us explain.
before Leandro Ball was absolutely criticized, shout out Leandro Ball. I believe that the halftime show performer for next year will be someone who has not released a single song on Spotify, any music platform yet. I think we are in a generation where music artists can pop off in 6 months and be the next sensation, and everyone's like, oh, that guy will make us the most money because he's the most viral right now, so that he will be the guy that we put on the Super Bowl show because he is viral now.
Kanye West has already put out music, so I don't think
There's no way.
I respect the take.
Drake's
I
already
don't
put out
agree with it.
music. Tate McRae's already put out music, and those are the front runners. So I don't really understand.
The front runners in
what you're
who's
talking about.
what?
Yeah, the Super Bowl halftime show. Kanye West, Drake.
You know Tate McRae.
I was gonna say I've seen
what?
Bad Bunny as a front runner.
What money line are you on?
Oh, dude, yeah, Sexy Red for sure.
Did you see?
Oh, Megan Thee Stallion.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
Glorilla?
I'm done.
Glorilla.
That's the line.
Did you see that Tate McRae predicted the Super Bowl?
Yes, 40-22.
40-22
She said,
Eagles.
Dude, she was so cute about it. She was like 70, and then she was like, and then someone looked at her. She's like, wait, no, 40. And she said 40 and 22. And then she said, obviously and she forget what the Eagles. So she said, obviously Philly.
Goodbye, Will.
It was
Great
a-
having
See,
you.
Will, thank you for having us
See you,
on.
Will.
Or thank you for being on. My bad, not having us on.
Having us.
Yeah.
so
my
nervous.
mind
It's Will's show now.
is like
Yeah, Will
fried right now.
took over. Yeah, watch him walk away from that take.
Well, not
Scared of my take.
But going from, it's so lonely on the screen. I didn't realize that.
Should we even center it?
Maybe we can.
Zach, should we center it?
It's up to us.
We
It's
can.
our show.
It's our show. We can scoot over a little bit.
All right.
I would like to respect our producers, but I mean, you know.
We'll recenter it. I mean, it's all the same shot. Just we're all here.
I respect my producer. It's
Me
just,
too. Oh, let's do it like this.
You said it weird.
Zoom in.
Oh, we're just really.
I was kidding.
All right, so moving on from the future to the past/present. I also have a halftime hot take. I don't know how you guys are gonna agree with this. I think Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance was great. And not in the way where everyone can just like understand and dance to it, but it was so great because of the pettiness. I love the pettiness, and I don't think enough people understand it, and I'm not gonna go through everything because I could be here for like 30 minutes
I could talk
explaining
about this for
every
hours.
little detail. But my whole thing is that if you understood the halftime show, which is the big key of it because of the whole Drake beef, this was a great halftime performance as far as getting back and cementing basically Drake's death. as a
Top 5
performer.
great?
I don't, that's where it comes into like, if you're going based on pettiness, it's like the best because I love pettiness. Like I think it's hilarious that he came out here, it was like Uncle Sam, and that was a reference to one of the songs, and he wore like an A minor chain, and he looked at
love
Drake and
that.
smiled, and like the whole thing, it was like about the US and breaking apart and everything like this. That's all fine. As far as the music, I think it was probably one of the worst just because it didn't reach the max audience. This had 126 million views, more than Michael Jackson. Back in 1993, I believe it was. 1993 or 1994.
It was 93, yeah.
93. Michael Jackson, 1993. One of the, the best pop artist or artist of all time.
Yeah.
You could go anywhere at all. You could go in the middle of the Amazon rainforest and people would still be like, oh my gosh, it's Michael Jackson. And they don't even have technology. Look, Michael Jackson was so good, but because of the beef and because of technology and the improvement of technology, Kendrick Lamar now holds the record for the most views at a halftime performance. As far as views go, yes, it's the best. But if I were to go by music, I don't think it was. I would argue either Prince or Michael Jackson have a better halftime show.
I think that, and again, I can talk this for hours, so I'll do my very, very best. I've taught this to death for the last couple of days and stuff. But first of all, in terms of music, he's not going to play mainstream greatest hit stuff. He's going to play what tells his story, and he's going to do his own thing. And I respect that about Kendrick Lamar, and I think that's great. I think that, I told Drew this earlier, like I think that the people that are saying like, oh, his political commentary on the United States and everything was so amazing, I think it was fine. I think Kendrick Lamar is known for like generational breaking the mold of like, oh my God, he did not just do that and pulling it off. He didn't do that for the halftime show. I think he did. He balanced the like, let's be commercial, let's be mainstream, but like, in a Kendrick way.
Yeah.
And I think he did that well. He was on Kendrick's generational standard. He was safe in that way, and he was fine. The pettiness has a little flair to it. The music was okay. I feel like it's like I said, I think it was like a 5 out of 10 show where the Drake stuff and all that heat, just that tickles a bone in my body to bring it up to a 6. It sounds like he was more like an 8 or a 9. Yeah.
That's where it's like the show. I agree with you. The show is a 5. The show was not the best show I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Beyonce had a better one. The Weeknd had a better one a few years ago when he was
Weeknd
performing.
show is
I loved that
Weeknd,
one. That was great.
Bruno Mars's was great.
As far as an actual
Bruno Mars
performance,
red
it
hot.
was not good. But as far as the storyline behind it, I love the performance. Drew, do you have anything to add on to that before we switch over?
Oh, I mean, no. I'm chilling.
You're chilling? All right, cool.
Yeah,
I know you're kind of on the
mini
same.
take I don't even want to get into. Like, if the weekend was bigger than the weekend, then we would say their show's like the greatest of all time and stuff. It just said
Yeah.
the weekend. Like, I mean,
Exactly.
If Lady
Kendrick
Gaga,
is so big.
Yeah,
I mean, he won
exactly.
5 Grammys
if
with the song.
Kendrick did something like Bruno Mars did something like the weekends, we would say it's even better. Like, it's just
Exactly.
It's just, you gotta be big. But we went NBA halftime show, NBA. But we're not known for our diversity. So
No, not at all.
We used to go to the Elam ending in the NBA. So if you don't know, the Elam ending is basically means at the end of the third quarter in an NBA game, or honestly in college basketball, you should do this. Start in the G League. But at the end of the third quarter, what you would do is you would turn off the timer, and then basically you would go to 15 points more than the leading team. So let's say it's 100 to 90 at the end of the third quarter, then first to 115 points wins. And the reason for that is because basketball at the end of most games is determined by a loophole, okay? It's the fact of like, let's just foul them, 2 free throws, timeout, 3-pointer, foul them over and over and over. I'm sick and tired of watching a game. Like, how many times have y'all seen this? 1-point game, foul, made free throw, 3-point game, 3 seconds left, foul them. Oh, now we get 2 free throws. Game's over. Like, it's stupid. It's a ridiculous ending. Buzzer beaters are thrilling and they're exciting. And there's a part of me that thinks it's almost worth the 30 minutes of bullcrap to see that buzzer beater, but not quite. I want to see it in the G League, and maybe it's super anticlimactic and awkward, and I'll walk this back and be wrong. They need to put it in the G League, and I think if they did, everyone would like it more, and I think it should bring it to the NBA.
See, I think you're contradicting something you said on Touching All Bases, because didn't you say you like the walk-off home run in baseball? So I love the buzzer beater in basketball, which is the only reason why I disagree.
Can I give you a basketball equivalent, or baseball equivalent to what's happening in basketball, though?
Yeah.
Imagine if in like the 9th inning, they turned off the strike zone, and you had to watch like 21 balls in a row before you get a strike. Like, I feel like that's kind of what we get in basketball. Is it's just like inbound, foul, free throw. It's so boring. It's like if at-bats took...
Oh, it's like the
if the
Duke
last
game.
What?
The Duke game ended like that.
If the last 3 at-bats took 35 minutes, I would be like, we got to come up with some way to fix this. But baseball doesn't have that problem because they don't have some loophole that you can manipulate at the end of the game.
I like the idea because I do like the idea of like, hey, let's make it more exciting, more fun, more like
Basketball.
defensive heavy.
Yeah.
But I think at the same time that discipline is a great way to end it, and I think that is such a strong part of the game because if the discipline to not foul, to just lock them down. I understand the fouls where it's like
They never do that. They always
because
foul.
there's always like the purposeful foul to try and make them miss the free throws, which
Yeah.
makes sense. That's kind of partly what it is. I just think it's very interesting. It's going to be a change, definitely. Now I'm kind of talking myself out of it because I kind of want to see the Elam ending. 'Cause it sounds like fun.
Yeah, I don't
think-
hate it.
But you
I
can
think-
still have buzzer beaters. That's the one
I think they should try it in the G League. We can agree on that. I think
Yeah.
I don't. If they put it in the NBA next year, I'd probably vote against that. But I know Be For Real, I'm supposed to like heat up a take, but I want to be real to this one because I actually really fully believe this.
Be real.
Try it in the G League for a year.
Yeah.
And if it looks good, let's bring it in.
The only hard part about that is that you can't track player minutes, and therefore it's like I think there's a certain stipulation, especially in contracts sometimes. It's like if you play a certain amount, like I'm sure Joel Embiid, if he ever does a contract extension, will have something in his thing saying if you play a minimum of this many minutes, it's hard to track when you take off the game clock.
I think
That's like a big loophole in this, and that's a big, or not loophole, but a big issue in this is that you can't track those player minutes or player usage, especially now with the requirement of having so many games that you have to play. So that's where I think it's a little bit tougher to do. But maybe if you add it only in that fourth quarter, if you only add it
Yeah,
with
we just
5
do
minutes
fourth
left, let's say there's 5 minutes left, you're like, all right, play to the score, first one there is done, or time is out, done. Because you can do an either or. Like have the game clock still running and be like either first to 115 or first to whoever's winning at the end. Because then it still takes away that fouling portion, but it still leaves the minutes there.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, I think, just quick rebuttal to that. I think that NBA coaches, it's too easy to be an NBA coach. And the gap between a good one and the great ones, like Popovich is great. But the gap between like a A- and a D+ coach isn't that big. And make it a little harder for them. Add a little game planning. And then it's too easy for front offices too. Make them deal with some contracts and stuff too. But that's all I got to say about that.
I like it. So moving on to our last topic, we're bringing back one for the mind. I feel like I've done this one a lot because it's just fun to debate.
So fun.
And so for this one, yes, it's an age-old question that we constantly bring up over and over and over and over again. Is a hot dog a sandwich? That is what we're discussing today, but there is a new piece that I will add on later. Right now, I just want to get you guys' opinions. Yes or no? Is a hot dog a sandwich?
I feel like there's a lot of terms that are like
Hey,
the
run on the whiteboard and
definition.
reveal your answer.
He has two.
I feel like there's a lot of terms that it's like the definition of it leans towards yes, and then the social norm is like it's a no. And I think hot dog is a sandwich is exactly that. Definitionally, hot dog is a sandwich. It's a piece of meat between two buns. But socially, we don't have it as a sandwich in the general norm, is my thoughts on it.
Yeah. The sky is green, but there's chemicals in the sky that makes it blue. Technically, the sky is green. Technically, since we started in the year 1980 is actually the 70s. And my favorite fruit is a tomato. These are all stupid things that are technically right. This is another example of exactly what you said. I think that sometimes you can just tell stuff. You can just vibe things out and just understand things. And I think the technical definition of a hot dog it makes sense. But I don't think we don't have to classify everything. We don't have to put everything into a category. You can just be free and be your own thing. A hot dog is an indescribable food, and it's it would only come up in America, and it's unique, it's indescribable, and it's his very own thing and stuff. It's not, you don't have to put it into a group. Tomato is a vegetable because it tastes like a vegetable.
And a ketchup is a smoothie because it's made of tomato.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. There you go. Ketchup is a smoothie.
So we had a half and half because it was yes, definition, or definitionally yes, socially no. You had no. I'm going yes. I'm just going to split us all up and just go yes. And the reason why is I just don't understand how you can say it's not a. There's really no good argument. I just want to say yes. It's bread. There's bread, and there's something in the middle. That's, to me, is a sandwich.
So you're in the definition.
It doesn't look like a sandwich, but not everything.
A cheeseburger is not a sandwich either, I don't think. I think
a cheeseburger is a sandwich. That looks like a sandwich. That's more of a sandwich than a hot dog is.
I think a sandwich isn't as broad. A cheeseburger is a burger.
Because people say a sandwich is a sub, but a sub and a sandwich are the same thing. The only difference is the bread is connecting.
I think
as soon as that bread breaks, a hot dog becomes a sandwich.
So by definition, the sky is actually green, but it's not projecting green. So I think no one's wrong.
No one can be wrong.
No, I totally agree. No one is wrong.
But apparently, according to WikiHow or whoever else made this graphic, we are all wrong. There is a graphic here that is called the Cube Rule of Food Identification. Now, you guys see it. We see it on the screen over here. If there's nothing, it's a salad. No bread at all.
This is why.
So this is a cube.
Why Drew's right.
This is
so
a cube.
Stupid.
And I'll tell you this right now. This is a cube.
Proving me right.
This actually does not prove you right, and I'll explain it in 1 second.
All right.
There are 8 cubes there. The blue shade, that is representative of bread, where the bread places on your plate. Okay. So no bread is in the top left.
Okay.
No bread in the top left is a salad. Bread on just the bottom is toast. And
so
credit Zach.
Cereal is a salad? Apples are salad? I'm confused by that.
It's saying in relation to bread. If you're using bread for something, if you use no bread like a salad, it would be a salad.
And this does technically apply to any carbs in general as well.
Any carbs.
So cereal is a salad.
So cereal is a salad, Zach?
Cereal would be classified.
According to WikiHow, cereal is a salad. Yeah.
This is not WikiHow's definition, but WikiHow is one of the ones that had it. I don't know who made this, but
WikiHow is the image. It's just been going around the internet. I don't really know who created it.
Okay. Yes. So each
Cereal's
one
a
is a
salad?
bread slice or where the bread is placed. So toast is at the bottom. It's just one piece of bread at the bottom. A sandwich has bread on top and on bottom. That's the debate, right? That's what we're saying.
So is it?
But according to WikiHow, wait, what did you say?
Oh no, hot dog's a taco.
Hot dog would be a taco, as you can tell by the one on the right of your screen.
Taco place then? Subway's because look at the bread's joined at Subway. Is Subway a taco?
That's the weird thing because the taco would technically fall underneath sub, so a sub would technically be a taco because it has bread on 3 different sides.
It's an American taco.
It's an American taco.
Oh, I kind of like that name.
Sushi. I'm gonna go through the
love
rest.
This. I actually love this.
Oh, wait.
You have sushi on the right. That is if 4 different sides are all together like a sushi roll. You have I believe it's a quiche, is if it's 5 sides. All together is a calzone if it is completely. So a burrito is technically a calzone.
A donut is a calzone.
A burrito is a
bagel
calzone. No, you're going a little bit. It's more like, it's not just one. It has to have multiple different ingredients in it. Not just like sugar and things. It has to have meat, carbs, stuff like that.
So like a cream-filled donut.
So for example, when Zach and I were talking about this, a lasagna is a cake because you can see in the bottom right that a cake has 3 different layers of carbs.
There's no bread in lasagna though. It's
like they're carbs.
It's a carb. It's got pasta.
Okay.
So this is the carb cube rule of food. That's what it's, I think, technically called. So those are the 8 different ones. So according to this, we are all wrong, and the hot dog is technically a taco, which makes no sense. Lasagna is a cake, makes no sense. A burrito is a calzone, which kind of makes sense.
And a cereal is a salad.
And a cereal is a salad.
I love this because it perfectly shows what you're talking about. On if you want to classify everything, it gets really stupid.
Yeah.
You can kind of just vibe things out. A hot dog is a unique thing, and it doesn't fit a class. If you say describe a hot dog, it's hard to do that, and that's what makes it so beautiful. It's not a sandwich. Yeah.
It is so bad, but
Exactly.
it was It was fun to see. It was like, it's interesting. I never heard about it.
If you
That
want
was
to
the
tell me
interesting part.
technically it's a taco, I'll be like, sure, because it's nothing. And if you're trying to put it in a classification, it's going to get really weird. So sure, it's a taco.
So I guess there is no full answer to this question, so it will continue to go on as a debate.
I'd say it's one for the mind for sure.
Although the question has no end, this show does. We have come down to our end. Thank you guys so much for joining us this episode. I'm Brian Warner, joined with Drew Landon, Caden Hughes, and Will Griffith had just walked out. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week, and keep it real until then.